Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday Night Truck Series presented by Shoney's here on iRacing. Getting ready for our season finale, and it's going to be a good one for sure. We know Jonathan Jennings already clinched the point standings, but it's going to be all about who can finish up the outside of him. I also got along with me a secondary announcer. I want to welcome Matt Gall to the booth. Matt, how you doing tonight?
Very good, very good. Happy to be here. It's the first time I'm doing it, so I'm real excited. This is their championship race, so I hope I don't screw anything up for you guys, but looking forward to tonight's race.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one here. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. We see Jonathan Jennings again with that commanding lead. He's won the championship by over 200 points already. Justin McMahon sits back in second. He is 400 points ahead of Steve Gerber back in third. Then Christopher Simon and Lucas Edwards round out your top five. Got the top 25 up on the screen so you can see where your favorite driver is. Also, don't forget, we are live here on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Kick. Love to hear from you here in the season finale. Let us know who you're rooting for tonight, who you think is going to win here tonight. Currently at the top of the leaderboard is our fastest driver. That's Chris Leftwich in the 13. Adam Gardner second and Christopher Simon third. So unusual not to see Mr. Jennings up at the top of the leaderboard. As practice has now concluded, and we're getting ready for qualifying. And Auto Club, old racing surface, unfortunately, for those that know, the Auto Club Speedway is currently being demolished. But it will live on here on iRacing, and it will lend to some great racing. And Matt, you ever do any truck racing here at Auto Club?
I have done some racing here before. Yeah, I actually like this track a lot. It's got a lot of different grooves. You can use some different lanes and different things to get whatever your car wants to do. So there's going to be some strategy here tonight. There's guys going to be sticking to the bottom line, some guys riding high, kind of trying to keep that momentum up. And, the bottom is kind of a little harder on tires, so that may play into it as well. I mean, we'll have to see what happens here, but this is a fun, large track. We'll see how this goes tonight.
That is for sure. And not just that, but restarts are wild here. This track, as you can see, as we got Michael Dow going around the racetrack, easily can hold 5-6 cars wide or trucks wide. So do not be surprised to see 3, 4, even 5 wide racing, especially on starts, restarts, and coming down to the end. Drafting is going to be a huge part here as well. These trucks punch a big hole in the air, so we'll see some drafting. Not quite like you would see at Daytona or Talladega, but for the first 5 or 6 laps, I believe these cars can pretty much stay wide open.
Yeah, you can't suck up to a car and push like you can at a super speedway, but you definitely want to stay in the wake so you can keep your momentum going. You're not going to want to, you don't want to move around. You don't need to move around to get outside to cool off the vehicle or anything like that. So you're going to want to stay in that wake and use it as much as you can.
Yeah, the other thing you'll notice around the track as these trucks come down the backstretch especially is how much character this track has. This track is incredibly bumpy. As you come down the backstretch, the trucks really want to move around left and right. So that can even be an issue here, especially in a tight draft.
Yeah, and there's definitely some tire fall off too. So if we get longer runs here, you're gonna see some guys that had taken care of their tires that are gonna come on strong at the second half of a run, and some guys that are gonna fade back if they kind of were racing pretty hard in the beginning of it. So. And I'm looking at some times here on this qualifying, and these guys are pretty tight here. So this should be some really good tight racing. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, Doghouse Racing League is known for some of the cleanest racing. We've seen a lot of these races go green flag to flag. So watch for that here tonight, as track temperature or as track position is going to be a huge part. We know that they will have to pit at least once here tonight. So.
Yeah, track position is definitely key almost anywhere you go. But this is one of those places where you can make moves. If you can find a groove that's working for you, that it's not working for some other guys, you can really make some moves. So These guys up front definitely have an advantage, but that's not to say these guys that are in the second half of the field can't find themselves a groove and take care of their tires and get up there and compete with them.
Yeah, no surprise, Jonathan Jennings up to the top of the leaderboard. Kevin Powell, teammate, back in second. Then Lucas Edwards and Christopher Simon, currently row 2. But we still got a minute and a half here left in qualifying before we get things underway. As we're watching Ricky Hudges come down across the stripe. He's going to jump up into the 8th position. See Jonathan Smith out on racetrack right now. Coming down the backstretch on his final lap of qualifying. 2 laps of qualifying for these drivers here tonight. You see, this is a great view. This trucks, just how much they bounce around coming down the backstretch.
Yeah, that bottom of 3 and 4 too has 2 large bumps in it that absolutely upset the vehicle. They send the wheel back and forth, and you can hang on to it and keep speed back down there, but you got to be focused at all times with this track and these bumps.
You see Jonathan Smith stays in the 20th position currently. Stephen Bonomo coming down the backstretch on his final lap. And, it's a lot more than just being able to hold the bottom or hold the middle. These trucks with that big aerodynamic advantage, they can really hold the wall here. So a couple of seasons ago, iRacing implemented where the air coming off the car can create that bubble on the wall. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a driver or two actually using that Kyle Larson line and ripping that high line.
I'd really like to see it. I know it can be done. You got to be a talented driver to hold it up there. If you're saying some of these have gone green to green, I'm sure we got a few of those in the field. So I'm looking forward to seeing who can do it, because it does carry speed. The momentum off of the corners, if you can stay up high in that bubble, is very advantageous.
So before we get qualifying is just about complete, let's remind everybody that we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. I do see a chat here already. Adam Gardner's got the Scooby Snacks up in the chat already. He's feeling pretty confident tonight. But also, we want to remind you that, or want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. We want to thank all of our great partners here as well, including Shoney's. Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday Night Truck Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner daily. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations, try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947.
Making me hungry.
Also, Doghouse Racing League is fueled by Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy is designed to be the ultimate energy drink. 0 sugar, 0 fillers, 5 calories, packed with essential vitamins. Take hydration to the next level. Visit RogueEnergy.com and enter the code Doghouse for 10% off your order, and all commissions will support the Doghouse Racing League. Let's take a look at our starting grid real quick. And on pole tonight, no surprise, the 91 of Jonathan Jennings, with Adam Gardner starting to his outside in position number 2. Row 2 will find Kevin Powell, along with Lucas Edwards and Christopher Simon and Justin McMahon, round out row number 3. Starting 7th will be last week's winner, Daniel Wilkerson, and Bill Gentry in the 8th spot. Stephen Bonomo and Chad Waller round out your top 10. Ricky Hudges rolls off 11th with Mike Leftwich back in the 12th position. 13th will be Christopher Leftwich with Leander Johnson back in 14th. 15th, Jeffrey Engel, Gary Maydew back in the 16th position. Then row 9 will be Mark Dumont and Steve Gerber. Your top 20 will be Gary Amio and Jeffrey Wimmer. 21st, Jonathan Smith, Michael Dow rolls off 22nd, James Hitchcock back in 23rd, Richard Leclerc 24th, Kevin Brown from the 25th position, Chuck Cobb rolls off 26th, and that will round out your 26 truck field here at Auto Club Speedway. Of course, we want to thank all of our great partners here at IntensityBroadcast.com, or Intensity Broadcasting, including RaceEPI.com for all your iRacing and coaching needs. Check out RaceEPI.com. You can support our channel by visiting our website over at IntensityBroadcasting.com. Pick up some Intensity swag or some of Atlee Atman Weiss's gear as well. Of course, you can head over to the DoghouseRacingLeague.com for all your news, standings, and swag for the Doghouse Racing League. And of course, we can't forget about our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Here we go, Matt. The pace car is getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. And these drivers get ready to take the green one last time here in the Tuesday Night Truck Series presented by Shoney's. Jonathan Jennings going to lead them down to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Auto Club Speedway.
Great jump on the outside, it looks like. We'll see if he can hold that momentum on the high side there.
Yeah, Adam Gardner with a great jump already, trying to use that high line already. One truck trying to rip the high side.
Yeah, 76 is going way up there already, so these guys are using all the track on lap 1.
Yeah, Lucas Edward already jumping up to the high side. Here comes Jennings now going up to the high side. Adam Gardner, he's going to get the run here. Down off of turn number 2, down into turn 3 for the first time. Drag race side by side. We see...
and if you saw it back there, we got 3 wide already. I saw that just in the outside of the frame there. We got 3 wide. There we go, right there.
Jonathan Jennings using that little bit of a diamond to try to get the lead away. He's going to lead our first lap, and as you mentioned, 3 wide right behind. We got the sandwich, the meat of the sandwich, that's Justin McMahon. He's got Kevin Powell and Lucas Edwards 3 wide, and they're still 3 wide as Adam Gardner retakes the lead from Jonathan Jennings. Oh, look at the slide job from the 24 of Justin McMahon.
Thought we almost had a crossover there, but he decided to just pack it in, and it's early on, right? We don't need any accidents or any issues, so let him have it right now. He's going to keep that high side too. He likes it up there. I think he likes that momentum off of the corners, and he's just going to keep running it and see what he can do.
More 3 wide racing right behind. We see that's the 9 of Stephen Bonomo. He's on the bottom of the track, looking like the 166. That is Chad Waller in the middle, and then Daniel Wilkerson right in that high line, trying to follow Lucas Edwards forward. While it's going on, Adam Gardner starting to pull away from the trucks behind him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that high side is working for him right now. It looks like he's dropping back a little bit, not really making much ground, but he's giving it a shot. You might as well try it and see if it's going to work for your truck. So he's come down about a lane from where he was earlier, and he's just feeling it out. There's plenty of time in this race. No need to panic. Just see what your truck can do.
Ricky Hudgens taking a look down to the inside of Bill Gentry, but side's better of it coming through the tri-over, the front stretch there, trying to use the apron. And it is legal to pass down below the apron here at Auto Club Speedway. So we might see some guys, especially on restarts and coming down to the end, using that apron to their advantage. You see Christopher Simon using that bottom side in that UPS machine, trying to get around Bonomo. He's going to set his sights on the 13 of Christopher Leftwich. Meanwhile, up front, Adam Gardner just settling in. Ooh, big wiggle out of the 24 of Justin McMahon. Tucked right on the back bumper.
That looked like no fun at all. You can see they're starting the top 6, 7, 91 drops down there, but they were starting to kind of line it up a little bit, which you kind of expect to see a little bit in the beginning here. No need to get too racy right now. These guys are up front. They don't need to go, to the front right now. Top 5, you can sit there and ride for a little while. But here we go. They're going to. They almost tried 3 wide there at the front. So as I say that, they proved me wrong.
Justin McMahon dives down to the bottom. He wants to take the lead away from Adam Gardner. And Adam Gardner had such a great season last year. This season had nothing but bad luck, and now he's finding himself right back here in the mix, trying to get a win here tonight in the season finale. Of course, these drivers racing as hard as they are. You wouldn't know that these drivers do not use a reset in this league. So any instance that these guys rack up, any damage, they will have to either retire or try to get what they can fixed up, as Adam Gardner still trying to hold off that 91 of Jonathan Jennings.
Yeah, it's just a great view going into these corners when you're looking back at them and you see them all start to fan out, and it looks like it's, at any other track it would just be wild to see them do that, but this is such a wide track and there's so many different angles you can take into the corner that I don't think they're not overly aggressive here. They're just, everybody's got a little bit different line. They're trying a little bit something with their truck, and so you see them just fanned out there. But it's a pretty calm ride inside the truck.
Take a look off the back bumper of Justin McMahon. He's got Jonathan Jennings trying to make a move. He's battling right now, though, with Adam Gardner up on that high side. This is exactly what Justin McMahon wants to see. He wants to see these drivers too wide behind him, because they're going to break the momentum and they're going to allow him just to stay out in front. He can kind of lead whatever lane he wants.
Yeah, this is almost like a super speedway where he's going back and forth between whoever's got momentum. We talked in the pre-race that it was going to kind of happen like that. Look at that run from the 56 right there. And couldn't quite keep it going, but yeah, you can definitely, if you stay in that wake, you can get a run going. So he's really racing this like it's Talladega right now. That's very interesting.
And you see just how much those trucks move around the backstretch, and as a driver, that can be a really unsettling feel, especially when you got a driver right against you. And we see Chris Leftwich jumping up to the high lane already. He's trying to continue that march forward up on that high side. He's already up 7 spots from where he started.
Yeah, he's moving. He's moving good. Now, if they stay green a long time, we'll have to keep an eye on that, see if he's really using up the tires or not. But it doesn't look like he's pushing it too hard. Riding on that outside is pretty easy on it. So, and he's up there again. So I'm sure he knows what he's doing. He looks like it. He's moving up. He's doing good. He should be able to hold this together.
One driver is not being easy on it. That's Adam Gardner. He's going to take the lead away from Justin McMahon, and McMahon's going to lose a couple positions as here comes Jonathan Jennings trying to get by on the high side as well. Another driver really ripping the high side up there, Lucas Edwards. I think he's the driver I've seen the highest up on the racetrack here tonight.
And he's been doing that since the first lap, and so he must like it, or he's trying to keep those tires cooled off and save them for the end. And he may be going to the bottom here because the car's on the outside, but I think he wants to be up high. I think he likes it up there, and I don't know that it's worked out so good just yet. But if as the run goes on, it may come in, and he's going to be the more comfortable driver with it because he's been doing it so much.
You see Christopher Leftwich now up into the top 5. And he's continuing his march forward as we got a battle here for the lead. Jonathan Jennings going to try to take it away from Adam Gardner off of turn number 4. And we've completed 10 out of the 55 laps here at Auto Club.
It's a very quick 10 laps, but yeah, I mean, when they're green, they go by fast, and these guys are making it look easy out here.
Adam Gardner's got that advantage up on the high side. He's got some drafting help from behind in the form of Justin McMahon. A couple New England drivers here up on the high side. McMahon and Gardner trying to work their way towards the front.
Yeah, I like how the 91 car, how he side draft a little bit there just to kind of suck that car back to him so that the 24 couldn't also get by him. He lost that spot there to the 56, but it could have been worse for sure.
Well, that's all been going on. We've got a battle back here. A gaggle of trucks out in the back here trying to make some positions. We see the 63.
Ooh, yeah, he's on a move.
He's making some moves there up on that high side as well. Huge momentum. That was Gary Maydew in that kiss machine.
There's some bump draft in there. These guys are a little bit more aggressive back here, and with reason. They need to get back to the pack. They need to get back to the front. So it's a little bit harder racing up back there than you'll see up front.
Speaking of trying to get back to the front, more bump drafting as McMahon just gave a shot to Jennings down the front stretch and into turn number 1. Kind of pushes him ahead. Now he's going to try to make it 3 wide. Drops back into just 2 wide. Now they're going to be almost single file. Oh, big wiggle for the 24 McMahon.
Yeah, he held on to it pretty good, though. Got in line there, so the car behind him couldn't get him. We'll see what he has. It seems like he wants to go to the front. He's pushing a little bit more than the other guys, which is fine. 91 back in front now, so he's been kind of controlling the field tonight, and he's let the guys get by, and then now going back by him, and so he looks pretty strong. I don't think he's showing all his cards yet.
As our top 5 are now nose to tail, as Kevin Powell's now moved up into the top 5, and here comes Ricky Hudges now moving up into the 4th position. I think Christopher Leftwich may have burned off his tires because he's starting to fall back from off of our leaders.
Yeah, that can happen pretty quickly at this track. When you're going into those corners, you're going off throttle, and you can play with the throttle a little bit. But if if you push it a little bit too much and make them squeal a little too much, they will fall off pretty quick. And that may be what's happening with him now.
Look at this gaggle of trucks back here, a hornet's nest. This is
That's
back.
6 trucks under a blanket right there. That's close racing.
This is 10th through 16th here. Ooh, some contact there between Mike Leftwich and that is Steve Gerber in the 8. Now Jonathan Smith, the meat and the sandwich. He's got Leftwich to the inside and the 73 of Wimmer to the bottom.
Everybody gathered that up real good and gave each other enough room and to keep going. Probably just a little inadvertent, 2 guys, 1 piece of real estate, you know?
Back up towards the front. Justin McMahon's regained that 3rd position. He's got some help from behind from Ricky Hudges. Of course, that 93 machine of Kevin Powell, that is teammate to the 91, so I don't see him really giving anybody some help trying to get by Jonathan Jennings here. And then the rest of the field starting to catch back up to our lead 5.
Yeah, if they can get back up there to the lead 5, we'll see some really good racing here in a little bit with a large pack. You can see there the top 6 or 7 or so are kind of single file now. Getting a little squirrely there. But, you know, if they can catch them, then that momentum is going to ride. And they're going to have to go 2 wide, 3 wide here up front because it's going to get pretty racy if they can catch them.
In the chat, I see someone says he got turned. Not sure who he's referring to that got turned, but everybody looks like they're all still nose to tail here. Except for one driver, that is Chuck Cobb, who is all by himself here, running back in 26th position.
I don't see any damage on the cars. So I'm not sure exactly why he fell back, but maybe just got really squirrely, or maybe that's what chat was saying got turned. Maybe they saw something we didn't, and he spun around on his own and got righted and got going, but not sure.
Chat was referring to the 13 got turned. He fell back a little bit, and that's why he fell back a few positions, but right now he's trying to get his way back up towards the front. Chad Waller trying to take a look down to the inside of Lucas Edwards.
Now 20 laps is probably about the time where we're going to see some whether people have been taking care of their tires or not. This is going to be when we start to see if some guys fall back, some guys push forward. You start to get some wear and a little bit more slide, and as you get a little bit more slide, you tend to kind of overdrive a little bit, and that can hurt you unless you're careful with it.
Jonathan Jennings starting to stretch his legs a little bit. It has almost a half-second lead over Adam Gardner now as they come down to start lap number 20 of 55.
Yeah, I was thinking he wasn't yet showing us the cards, but I think he put his cards on the table now. He's got a decent lead out there now.
The driver who's won more races than anybody this season, won all but I think 4 races this season, Jonathan Jennings. So he's showed speed all season long and shown again here tonight in the season finale. Although here comes Adam Gardner and Justin McMahon side by side. This is a battle for the 2nd position. And McMahon's going to take that spot away. As we are quickly approaching the halfway mark.
And we'll see now, well, as he comes back, but I was getting ready to say, we'll see if the 24 has got anything for him. If he can clear the 56 here and just be able to run his line, do what he wants to do and not worry about him. We'll see if he's got anything for 91, but he's got some making up to do because of, 6/10 back or something like that at this point, and they're still fighting over it right now. So one of these guys has got to get in the front and try to run him down.
See McMahon going right along here with McMahon. He's been ripping that high side the last few laps. Not quite as high this lap as he was the lap before.
And you see a little momentum in the higher line there. So he's drawing up to him off of turn 4 there. That high side provides that momentum, so he's pulling up pretty quick to him now. So we'll see if he's got a little fight in him.
Yeah, there we go. That's
There we see. Yeah.
Right up there on that top seam, trying to use the wall to his advantage, trying to keep that momentum up off the corner. And you hear, keeping that truck wound up. He's getting a bit of a run here down the backstretch.
Yeah, like I was just saying, that high side provides that run off of 2 and 4. And he's definitely using that to his advantage right now. And we'll see if 91 wants to make an adjustment and try to block that line from him because he's coming pretty quick.
Yeah, we see Steven Bonomo down on pit road coming to get his service done. Just saw Daniel Wilkerson on and off of pit road. So imagine these drivers are getting pretty close to making their pit stops. As Ricky Hudges now has a battle going on with Chad Waller.
And when it's green like this, execution in the pits definitely matters. You have got to be on point and get in and out as fast as possible to maintain your position. It's a big, fast track, so if you make a mistake, it is going to cost you.
Put the pit lane tracker down on the bottom as pit stops are happening. You'll see the first 3 letters of the driver's name. When you see the pit flashing, that means they're on their way to their pit stall. When it goes solid, that means they're stationary in their pit stall. And when the time shows up, that means that they're leaving pit stall. That's going to be their pit time. So right now we see Adam Gardner, Jeffrey Engel, James Hitchcock all on pit road.
And we have a battle for the lead.
And Jonathan Jennings right there on the back bumper. I'm sorry, McMahon right there on the back bumper of Jonathan Jennings.
And I'll tell you, neither one of these guys want to go into the pit right now. It's not a good time.
As you say that, here they come down onto pit road.
Yeah, they're both coming in.
That's going to give the lead to Chad Waller, and everybody's going to try to come down pit road at the same time. And look at this gaggle of trucks all on pit road at the same time. Pretty much the entire field.
Yeah, when the leaders come in like that, it's going to bring them in for sure, right? Because you can't stay out there when you're losing, half a second a lap in lap time. You're not going to be able to make that back up on the track. So everybody had to come in when they saw him dip.
This almost looks like yellow flag pit stops the way these trucks came down on the pit road.
Yeah. And they all did it really clean too. I mean, nobody slid tires, nobody hit anybody. I mean, really good, clean entry from everyone there.
Here comes the drivers off of pit road. Jonathan Jennings is going to be the first truck off of pit road. McMahon and Kevin Powell were just battling for position, but McMahon was able to get that position. Adam Gardner, who's already been on pit road, he's coming off pit road right now, and he's going to leapfrog these guys, I believe.
Yeah, look, 13 of them just got pushed out of the way there a little bit. I noticed up front that Jennings got himself a little bit of breathing room coming out of the pits there, so hopefully he can hold on to that for a little bit. He was breathing down his neck before the pits, so a little bit of room there.
Now, Matt, you know that when it comes to any track that has to do with a little bit of drafting, that may not be the best thing because these guys could line up and pull him right back down.
Yeah, if a couple, 2-3 cars can get together, they can dust him for sure. But, hopefully he's going to be able to throw a little block. And they're side by side, right? So that's working out for his benefit, definitely. They're still fighting over it instead of working together. And that is the best thing. That's what Jennings wants to see all day. There they go.
Yeah, lined up now our top 3. Nose to tail down into turn number 3. And pit stops have cycled around. Christopher Simon, Mike Leftwich, and Chris Leftwich. 3 drivers on pit road right now, and that will be completing our round of pit stops. And these drivers will be able to make it to the end without having to pit anymore. There's a view off the back bumper. Yeah, there's the view off the back bumper of Jonathan Jennings. We see Adam Gardner pull right up to the back bumper.
Yeah, Gardner's 24. He's pushing as hard as he can right now to try to get to seal up that gap so that they can start pulling him back to him. And they're there. See, he's riding in his wake. He's there. It's just a matter of being able to get that momentum off the corner to get to him, and he's there. So this is going to get interesting. 3-way for the battle for the lead. See what these guys can do.
Oh, big wiggle there by both Gardner and McMahon, but Gardner trying to keep that momentum up on running just a little bit higher, trying to use that little bit at the edge of the wake, if you will, put a little bit of air on the front nose to help turn that truck. And for a lot of these guys, this is the first time they've driven a 2-mile track like this on the new asphalt model. So last week, iRacing had their big update where they changed the way the asphalt gets heat in it, rubbers up, and changes the way these drivers have to attack the track as the run goes on. Especially on a hot track like this, if we take a look at our weather, you can see the track. Actually, the track temperature is pretty cool, 86 degrees.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's very ideal. You know, this should be pretty comfortable, and tires shouldn't be falling off too hard with that temperature. Some good grip in the track. And these guys are doing, I mean, these guys are doing excellent right now. You know, they're just kind of, the 3 of them are kind of just driving away, and that's perfect. I mean, you know, you can battle it out in the last 8 laps or so, but right now they're making hay, and most of the cars are not even with them. So I mean, this is exactly what you want to do, is get that gap and have a 3-car battle at the end.
Now with Jonathan
Although
Jennings, oh, go ahead.
I do see a 4th car coming in. I'm not sure who that is, but he is trying to suck up to him there. But he's got a little bit of gap still, so he could still be. Yeah, there you go. He could still be in that fight. Plenty of laps left.
That's the 93 Kevin Powell, teammate to the 91, trying to make his way back up. And with the draft that these trucks are pushing, or the air these drivers are pushing, he could easily catch right back up.
And you know Jennings would love to have a teammate up there with him.
Jennings being out in front in that clean air, that makes a huge difference to the way these trucks handle. He's able to get all the air on the nose and have max grip, where Gardner behind, yeah, he's got a little bit more speed on the straightaways, but those trucks do not handle as well in dirty air as the trucks out front do.
No, and you see that 24 car is kind of stepping out a little higher. They're trying some things, and as of this point, it's not really working out for him. So he may want to fall back in line there and just ride for a few more laps. But, you know, you got to try some things and see if it's going to work or not, because you don't want to get to those last few laps and do something wrong and then fall back then, because then you can't make it up, you know?
Absolutely. Take a look from a couple great views here around the racetrack. That's a great view of just how bumpy this track really is. What these drivers have to deal with is Lucas Edwards as Chad Waller all over the back bumper. A little battle going on back here. This Hornet's Nest is continuing to swarm, starting with Jonathan Smith and Bill Gentry out in front, Jeffrey Wimmer in this group, Daniel Wilkerson. Back up front, our top 3 continue to do battle as we are coming to 22 laps to go.
The 24 is just not content. I don't blame him. You know, I mean, it looks like he's got a fast car. It's just making that pass is difficult. Now, if he's going to slide job him right here, he got him. Didn't even have to slide job him. So there you go. So he's back in the 2nd place like he was before the pit stop. So it's right where he wants to be. Now let's see if he can use that high side again and draw back up to Jennings and make a real battle out of it.
These drivers went about halfway on fuel lap 24. So having a 30-lap run here at the end, I wonder how much they're concerned about fuel, especially running up front like Jennings is.
Yeah, him for sure. He's got to be thinking about it a little bit, or at least checking every once in a while when he gets a chance. The guys that are in the wake a little bit, not as much of a concern, but being up front like that, you're using a lot more fuel. So he's got to keep an eye on it for sure.
And you called it earlier, Kevin Powell now to the back bumper of Adam Gardner. This is about to turn into a 4-truck race.
Yeah, he finally made his way up there. Another thing, the 24 car late in the run was able to use that high side for momentum to catch Jennings. So I'm looking forward to seeing once we get to 10 to go, 8 to go, if he's going to try to do that again when the tires get worn a little bit, and see if he can't take advantage of that like he did on the last run.
As Kevin Powell now takes a look down to the inside of Adam Gardner, trying to put himself on that final podium spot. As they come across the stripe, we have just 20 laps to go. Of course, we want to remind you that the Doghouse Racing League is fueled by Rogue Energy. Rogue Energy is designed to be the ultimate energy drink. 0 sugar, 0 fillers, 5 calories, packed with essential vitamins. Take hydration to the next level. Visit rogueenergy.com and enter the code DOGHOUSE for 10% off your order, and all commissions earned through the link will help support the Doghouse Racing League. So this is the last race that we're going to have with Shoney's here this season. Hopefully they come back on next season, but we do appreciate Shoney's coming on, especially the Shoney's of West Virginia. Stop by one of their locations, try that legendary breakfast bar, take home a whole strawberry pie. As we see our leaders going around the lap truck of Stephen Bonomo. And that's going to allow Justin McMahon to make a move down to the inside.
Yeah, coming off of turn 2 there, Jennings had to kind of keep it to the inside off of the wall when he wanted to float up to that wall and stay in the throttle. And that cost him just a little bit of momentum. And on a larger track like this, you can see what it does to you.
Side-by-side action now for the league with 18 laps to go. Adam Gardner, Chad Waller, Kevin Powell fell back a little bit. Now Chad Waller's up in that that 4th position.
He is using the high side, and it's working. He got him, yeah.
McMahon to the lead. Now here comes Waller down to the bottom, trying to get around Adam Gardner, take over that 3rd spot. He's going to be able to slide right in front of the 56.
He got a couple spots on that lap, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Here comes Gardner, though, fighting back up on the high side, trying to use a little bit of a side draft to pull that 166 back towards him. So this is a battle for the final podium spot between Adam Gardner and Chad Waller. But you got Kevin Powell and Lucas Edwards kind of lurking back there as well, so don't count them out, especially if we see a late race caution.
Yeah, if we see a caution and get this stacked back up, it's anybody's. But 24 is looking really strong right now. He was using that high side to get around him, and he's putting a little bit of distance between them. Not that it can't be made up, but his car looks really, really strong right now, and that high side is just working for him.
Got a shout out in the chat from Steven Tucker on YouTube. Says shout out to the Leftwiches, 13 and 60. Yeah, track's looking a little moist out there, bub. Yeah, track is getting pretty slick out there as the run continues. We're coming to 15 laps to go.
Jennings is going nowhere by any means. He is still in the fight. He's using his wake right now to stay with them, and he's drawing back to him. So we're going to see some fireworks before this is over, I'm sure. I don't think 24 is going to run away with it by any means.
Oh, for sure. I don't believe he will. But again, we got drivers on pit road. Adam Gardner, Kevin Powell, Bill Gentry, all on pit road. So I believe that shows these drivers are going to have to pit one more time before this is all said and done.
Huh? Oh, this is where I want to see some 2 tires, no tires. This is where things can really shake up if they have to pit here within 15 to go. I'm a gambler myself. I'm taking 2 tires right here and see if I can get track position.
Well, here comes your leaders down on pit road, and see if they're able to get them woed down in time. It looks like they are. More drivers coming as well. Looks like not quite as many as we saw on the first stop. But Ricky Hudges, Lucas Edwards, Jonathan Smith all on pit road. Michael Dow, Jeffrey Engel coming down pit road.
There may have been a couple of drivers that pitted, a lap or two after these guys and are maybe going to try to stretch it. See if they can get a fuel mileage win here.
Well, the driver who usually tries to pull the fuel mileage, that's Adam Gardner. And again, he's already been down and off of pit road. Here goes McMahon down and
Looks
away.
like he took 4 tires.
Yeah, he's able to get by Jennings, and he's able to stay out in front of Jennings coming off of pit road.
Yeah. Jennings is still there, though. They get up to speed, and he can still... There's the 166 now. He has stayed out, correct? So he may...
Yeah, he is the current leader.
He wants a caution right now. Throw it. And I guess that is the other thing. You could be going for, you got him a lap down, get the caution. That puts you in a good position. Or maybe he thinks he can make it. We'll have to see how this plays out. We will know shortly.
Here's second place, Mark Dumont working down underneath Leander Johnson. Johnson currently running 25th. He is a couple laps down. Steve Gerber down on pit road coming to his pit stall, leaving just Chad Waller, the only driver not to pit. He just got passed by both what would be the leaders when he comes down pit road, but they have a gaggle of trucks right in front of them that they're having to compete with.
Yeah, and you can see the difference in tires and no tires, right? I mean, they're just able to hold the bottom and go past them.
We got 4 wide right now coming down into turn number 1. I told you, folks, we'd see some 4 wide here tonight, and we just saw it right there. Chad Wallers can try to stay out here, try to steal one. He was last on pit road on lap 25. Don't know if he's going to be able to stretch it 30 laps. We can ride along with him, see if he's trying to save any fuel here.
Yeah, I mean, if he can make it, he may be able to secure himself in top 10 where maybe you otherwise wouldn't be able to. So that's still a win from where he was at.
It doesn't sound like...
Did you see that contact up front there?
Yeah, I did.
Out his windshield?
Yeah, it looks like I thought he was trying to save a little bit of fuel. Doesn't sound like he is.
No. I'm not sure who those 2 cars were, but they door slapped pretty good.
I believe that was Adam Gardner and
These two here,
Adam Gardner and Gary Maydew making a little bit of contact.
And they've been fighting each other a little bit tonight, just racing next to each other for a while here in the second half of the race.
Here comes the 81 of Chuck Cobb down on pit road. Is Waller going to hit pit road this time? No, he's going to stay out at least one more lap. How about Richard Leclerc sitting back here currently in second? He's coming off of turn number 2. And I thought I heard Leclerc was trying to save a little bit of fuel here. Let's listen, see if he gets off the throttle and hits that clutch. No, he stays right on the throttle. He's back in the corners up quite a bit more, so...
Yeah, so he's going to try to make it, I guess. And I mean, if you can really back up these corners and rotate and coast quite a bit. So he may be able to make it. Is it going to give him the win? I don't know.
Well, Chad Waller now down on pit road.
Yep.
Leaving just Leclerc, the only driver yet to pit. Leclerc is running 42.6s, which is about 2 seconds slower than his fastest lap. So he could be trying to milk it here, but it looks like he might be coming down on the pit road this time by. We'll have to see. Yep, here he comes out on the pit road. That's going to give the lead back to Jonathan Jennings, who's just coming off of turn number 4 right now. So, it's worth the gamble at that point. These guys are far out of the championship hunt.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Might as well try to steal a win.
Final race. Yeah. And these guys are not done yet. Like that 24 is still using that outside, keeping the momentum up. And we could have 4 cars for the lead here pretty quick. 8 laps to go, plenty of time.
So coming to 7 laps to go.
And if I'm the 24 car, I'm comfortable right now. You don't want to be on the last lap. You don't want to be the car that is getting drafted, not the one drafted. You want to suck up to him and go by him with a lap or 2 to go. So he's in the catbird seat right now. Jennings is just going to block him and keep him behind him as best he can. But see, he's staying in his wake now, and so I think he's feeling the same way. Like, let's wait until there's 4 to go, and then we'll start battling.
These two have had some epic battles. Actually, these 3, bringing Adam Gardner into the mix, have had some epic battles over the last 2 seasons. Could we be shaping up to see another one of those here with 6 laps to go in the season finale? A little further back, there's a battle going on back here. This is a battle for 13th and 14th. Daniel Wilkerson, Christopher Leftwich. Leftwich, who was so fast earlier in the race, now finds himself back in the 14th position. Don't know if he just burned his tires off. I heard earlier he might have had some issues there. But right now finds himself battling with Daniel Wilkerson back at 13th, 14th. There's that bump draft that we were talking about earlier.
Right underneath him, yeah, and then dives to the bottom. See if he can keep that momentum to get him, but I think that high side's going to pay off, yeah. That's a hard maneuver to make. It can be done, but it's difficult. And you see 24 trying the inside, and he usually likes the outside. So he's trying a few things here to see how he wants to set Jennings up. Inside, outside, what do I want to do? Might be playing a little bit of mind games, making him think he's going to go low, so when he goes high later, he's not expecting it.
Well, we're going to have just 4 laps to settle it here as they come off a turn at number 4 and down to the stripe.
And this is where I think 24 wants to start setting up that move.
I think he's comfortable here for at least 2 more laps. I think he's going to try to make. I really think he's going to try to make a move either on the last lap or coming to the last lap. I think right now he's kind of just settling in, trying to keep those tires as cool as he can. He's been running that high lane. You've seen him try to make that move up on the high side a couple times. I think he's just trying to experiment to see where his truck's working the best right now.
Yeah, and I think he has nothing from behind, right? No pressure from behind, so he's got nothing to worry about there. Everything is out the windshield. He doesn't have to focus on that at all anymore, and he can just kind of see if he can't set him up.
Yep, 3 laps to go. Coming up on the lap truck
of
Richard Leclerc. He might be able to use a little bit of a pick here coming off of turn number 2. They're both going to have that draft coming down the backstretch. And having the draft like that actually benefits McMahon a little bit as he's right there tucked up on that back bumper going into turn number 3.
Yeah, with this lap car here, they're both going to have to use the high side, so no advantage there for McMahon. They got to get around him here. Ooh.
Yep. 2 laps to go as McMahon tucks back in behind the 91 of Jonathan Jennings. Just 4 more miles to settle it here in the season finale of the Doghouse Racing League Tuesday Night Truck Series as McMahon's going to jump way up high to that high side yet again. See if he can keep that momentum off the corner. Try to gain any bit of... Look at the closing rate that McMahon has coming down the backstretch.
Yeah, great closing rate, able to close up to him. Let's see if he does it again. Yep, he's going to do it again.
As they come off of turn number 4, coming to take the white flag, 1 to go here in our season finale here at Auto Club Speedway. McMahon's going to try one last time down into turn number 1. This time he's going to stay up on that high side. I thought he was going to tuck in right behind, trying to get the momentum off of turn number 2. Now, can he get the same run that he got last time to try to pull alongside Jennings? Trying to serpentine down the backstretch, trying to break that draft down into turn number 3. McMahon's got one more chance, going to try to get to the back bumper. as they come through turns 3 and 4, but it's not going to be enough as Jonathan Jennings is going to get the win here in the season finale. Justin McMahon comes home second, and Kevin Powell is going to be your third place finisher on the podium. Then Chad Waller and Adam Gardner round out your top 5, but your champion and winner here in the season finale, Jonathan Jennings, getting his, I want to say his 9th win on the season, if I remember correctly. We'll be able to check that in a minute, but man, hard racing with some great, exciting racing to finish out the season here tonight.
Yeah, it was a great race. McMahon really was giving it his all. He kind of gone to that last corner, and basically the only thing he had going, he could put a bumper to him maybe, but he doesn't want to wreck him, and is just didn't have quite the momentum. But what a great finish! What a great race by both of those guys and the whole field to keep the whole thing green the whole way. That's just really great racing.
As the top 3 are going to park down on the front stretch.
Whoa!
A little bit of celebration. Oh yeah, these guys have a little bit of fun here.
Extracurricular activity.
All in good fun as Jonathan Jennings is going to burn it down here on the front stretch and go park that thing in victory lane. Not just parking in victory lane, but doing a whole burnout there in victory lane. And
yeah,
that's the way.
He's deserved it. What a great season! 9 wins. I mean, that's something right there.
Let's take a look at our final results here. Again, Jonathan Jennings getting the win here tonight. As soon as the scoring updates here. Just waiting for that. Oh, there we go. We got to get that right there. There's your results. Jonathan Jennings getting the win. Justin Commands brings it home second. Kevin Powell back in third. Chad Waller and Adam Gardner round out your top 5. Ricky Hudges in the 6th position. Lucas Edwards, Jonathan Smith, Steve Gerber, and Bill Gentry round out your top 10. Gary Maydew brings it home in the 11th position with Jeffrey Wimmer back in 12th. Daniel Wilkerson 13th. Chris Leftwich and Michael Dow round out your top 15. Then Jeffrey Engel finishes in 16th. Gary Amio back in 17th. Chuck Cobb, after having a horrendous start, brings it back to the 18th position. Christopher Simon 19th, and Michael Leftwich round out your top 20. Mark Dumont 21st. Richard Leclerc back in 22nd. James Hitchcock brings it home 23rd. Stephen Bonomo back in 24th. Leander Johnson and Kevin Brown round out the field here tonight in the season finale at Auto Club Speedway. As we get ready to talk to our top 3, as we get ready to get our 3rd place finisher into the booth here. It's going to be Kevin Powell. Kevin, you got, sorry, Kevin. You got Josh and Matt up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Man, great run for you here tonight, bringing it home in 3rd. Showed some speed all night long, kind of just hung around just outside the top 5 and brought it home in the 5th place tonight. What was the strategy and what was the difference there at the end that got you up onto the podium?
Well, my strategy, man, I missed most of the season. I think all of the season. This was either my first or 2nd race back due to technical issues. But my strategy tonight was just to, if Jonathan and Justin were up front as they were, just to, not get in the way of the championship battle, but still, run the best race I could. So I think that's what we did. We executed, had a good battle with Adam there at the end. I think that lost me a little ground to the top 2, but other than that, man, I'm happy with where I finished.
Yeah, amazing. Question for you. So you had a little gap there between you guys. You had that battle you mentioned. Was your tires falling off? Do you feel like you just didn't have enough of those guys after that battle, or how was the feel out there?
Yeah, I believe that battle with me and Adam, I just, had to full send it a couple times, and my tires, they just wasn't what they should have been at that point of the run. I knew I had enough covered for 3rd place, but, given 5 more laps, I don't know. I think Chad would have got me for third place. Just as much as just of how hard I had to run my truck to battle with Adam there at the end.
Well, overall, a great run for you here tonight, Kevin. Glad to have you back here on Tuesday nights. Glad to hear you got those gremlins figured out. Before I let you go, Kevin, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, man, I want to thank you guys for the broadcast y'all do every week, man. It's been a great season with you guys. I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank, the Doghouse admin team and actually the whole league, man. Like I say, I think we're one of the best leagues on the platform. I know there's good leagues out there, and I'm not trying to brag, but we got a good group of guys here. So, I'd like to give everybody a shout out, and my teammates, Jonathan, for taking home the win and the championship. That's great.
Well, again, congrats on the podium. Good luck the next season. Sounds like we'll be continuing here on Intensity with you guys next season, so looking forward to it. Have yourself a good one, and again, congrats on the podium.
Y'all too. Thank you. Have a good night.
So that was your third place finisher, Kevin Powell. Let's bring in your second place finisher, Justin McMahon, once I can get my mouse over there to pull him up. Justin, you got Josh and Matt up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, Josh.
Man, great run for you tonight. A lot of great racing between you, Jennings, Gardner, Waller was in there at the end there as well. I know I must be your bad luck because I come back and you finish second place again. But still a great season for you regardless. Talk us through those last couple, that last run, because I know you guys all came down pit road. You were able to beat Jennings off of pit road, but he was able to get you back. What was the difference there at the end?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking if I just stayed with him and stuck in the draft, that I was going to be able to get a run on him there and be able to make a move on him at the end. But I couldn't make it stick as good as I wanted it to. The end of the first run, before that first pit stop, the tires rolled enough. I was able to make that high line work to be able to rip the wall, and potentially I was gaining a lot on him there. I was hoping I was going to be able to do that again, but I think the tires were still a little too fresh for that. But it was just I don't know. It was a lot of fun. I don't know what else I could have done differently other than try to pass him earlier instead of just staying behind him, try to make a move late, because I know how he is here. So I mean, if I got by him early, I'd rather be second coming to the white flag and be able to be the one to make the move as opposed to being the leader on the last lap with them getting the run on me. So other than that, I don't know what I would have done differently other than that, to be honest.
Yeah, Justin, this is Matt. We saw you using the high side quite a bit, and you kind of just took us through what we were talking about in the booth in the last 5-6 laps. So, we were kind of on the same page. We saw you using that high side quite a bit, probably more successfully than any other car that we saw out there. We kind of saw in the second half of the run you could use it a lot more. How take us through kind of your strategy there and why you were using the high side and he was sticking to the low side.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was just at a point where he was comfortable with his truck, the way it was handling. I think he might have preserved his tires a little bit more than I did, and I was just at that point I was just kind of experimenting a little bit just to see what it would do. Usually when you run the high side here, you'll end up burning up your stuff a little bit sooner. So I know I didn't want to go up there too soon, but I was experimenting with it, and it seemed to have worked. But like I said, I know early in a run, if you did it early in a run, I think you were going to burn your stuff up a lot quicker, right? So I didn't want to do that, but I was also trying to offset him a little bit just to see if it would make any changes. I mean, when you're leading the points and you've won 10 races already and you're out front, I mean, what am I have nothing else to lose. So I don't know. I tried it. Like I said, I don't know if there's any disadvantage or advantage with it. But it almost worked, I guess.
Well, still, regardless, a great season for you here tonight, or this season, Justin. before we let you go for the last time, who you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for doing the broadcasts. You guys do a great job every season we have you. It's always nice to chat with you guys up here. Thanks for Daniel for the league. It's just one hell of a league that he puts on, and it seems to be growing every season and every year that he has it. So that's nice. And Group 6, my buddy Nate that owns Group 6 Interactive, for the sponsor on the truck this season, and see if I can talk him into extending my contract for next season.
Well, with all the second place finishes, not to bring that up, but I mean, 14 top fives, I think you got a good shot of getting that thing re-signed. So again,
yeah, I should get a bonus, right?
Yeah.
Some sort of raise maybe too. I don't know.
I mean, you were over 400 points ahead of third place coming into tonight. So that says something right there, even though you're over 200 behind Jennings, which is just incredible to think.
The only downside is that it just puts me as the first loser. So
that's true. Nobody remembers who finished second. But
no, that's right.
Again, Justin, awesome job, and good luck next season. It sounds like we'll be back with you guys next season as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Sweet. Yeah. Thanks, Josh. Have a good holiday.
You as well. Take care.
Yeah. Thanks.
That was your second place finisher, Justin McMahon. Let's bring in your winner here tonight. For the 11th time this season, your winner and champion, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh and Matt up in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, that's just an incredible stat right there. 16 races, 11 wins. Man, what's the goal for next season? Because I know you already got your eyes set on that.
Just have fun, really.
Well, great job out there tonight. You, McMahon, and Adam Gardner there having a hell of a battle there at the front for a while. Then Adam fell off, but you and Justin just continued to battle it out. Coming to the end there, it looked like he was just a little bit quicker than you on the high side, but just wasn't able to get that run. What concerned you there on that last run? Do you think he was going to be able to save the tires and get by at the end, or did you have something in your back pocket just in case he had that move?
Yeah, that's always a worry because he had the Highline working that first run, so. But first or second racing with these guys was still good, so. As long as it was clean, I would have been fine either way. Hello?
Yep, no, Matt, I was waiting for Matt's question to come up if he had one.
Sure. Yeah, well, I noticed earlier in the race you got passed by a couple guys, then you took them right back. Justin had you got you coming out of the pits once, and you took him back. Were you holding back? Were you trying to conserve tires, or just not putting all your cards on the table, or what was the strategy there?
Trying to save some tire is always needed for some of these races. Not very prominent here, but if you save just a little bit, it helps.
Well, regardless, man, great season again, a dominating 11 wins on the season, and looking forward to seeing what you can do next season. But of course, before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, a shots you got to give, the floors are yours.
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast, and Justin on the great battles all year. Normally that would be a championship season for anybody, but it was fun battling him all year, and Daniel and all the admins for all they do. The league sponsor Shoney and Rogue Energy.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the win and the championship. Have yourself a happy holiday and Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next year.
Good, man. Merry Christmas and have a good one.
You as well. So that was your winner, Jonathan Jennings, getting the win and the championship here tonight at Auto Club Speedway. That's going to do it for us here tonight, man. Matt, what a race.
What a race. It was clean. It was competitive. It was a lot of fun. I don't know what else you can say about it. What a great race.
Yeah, it's fun having you up in the booth, man. I enjoyed having you up here. But that's going to do it for us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. And hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to check out our great partners here on Intensity, including Race EPI. Check out our channel over at intensitybroadcasting.com. And support us with the Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptics needs. Check out thebuttkicker.com. Don't forget our league sponsors as well, Shoney's of West Virginia, Rogue Energy, and of course, check out the DoghouseRacingLeague.com for all your news, standings, and stats over there for the Doghouse Racing League. They got swag over there as well, so check it all out. As for that, we just want to say again, we want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. We look forward to returning here in a few weeks, and as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.